Hi everybody, Doug Adams here to talk with you about all things running. And another questions runners ask is, what do I do after a big race? My answer right now is, after having a race this past weekend, is avoid stairs at all costs. That's kind of my life goal right now. But joking aside, there's a lot that goes into making sure that somebody recovers after a race. And there can be a tendency for runners to really want to jump back in too quick. Sometimes that's because they really want to use the great fitness after a great race performance and they want to see what they can do. Sometimes they had a bad race performance and they want to start building fitness back because they underperformed where they wanted to be. Whatever the reason, we have to really, as their coach, as their medical provider, their fitness provider, we have to really make sure that we are guiding them in the right direction and what they can really be doing. So I'm going to go over a little bit of what I did, a little bit of literature, and then I've got a chart at the end that really goes over that 3-week time period, what we should really be doing and how we can guide them on that. So first, what did I do? So I about found any food that I could, but approximately got about 75 grams of carbs as quick as I could. I really wanted to restore some of the muscle storage that I had lost during the race. This race took me about 2 hours and 58 minutes. It was a 19-mile trail race, one of the toughest courses I've ever had, but a lot of fun. So I really used a lot of energy during it. And one of the things that isn't really the topic for this conversation, but it's important to remember that post-race recovery starts during the race. And there's some evidence about what we take, how often we take during, really sets us up for good recovery after. I'm not going to go into that today. That'll be another topic, but it's really important that we're having good during race nutrition. So then moving on, after that, after I stuffed my face a little bit, soft pretzels, I haven't had one of those in a long time, tasted great. I really then started hydrating, and I really wanted to get as much fluids in quickly, but I wanted to get a nice balance of electrolytes as well. Grab your favorite sports drink. You've probably heard of this as well. There's something called hyponatremia, where you drink too much after and dilute your bloodstream a bit. So make sure that you're getting enough of the electrolyte balance in there. So grab your favorite sports drink, just nothing too sugary, but if it has some calories, not a bad time, especially some salt intake. You can figure that out, what works best for your body. I tend to like a nap. That's when you're going to get the best hydration balance and when your kidneys will have a little bit of a chance to rebalance things and rehydrate you. A gentle walk. I took the kids out for a little leaf hike later in the day, just to, nothing more than I think even under a mile, but we just walked around a bit at a slow pace. I've got a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old, so we're not moving fast, but it was good to just get moving so that I wasn't stiffening up. I like compression. I think that the literature is mixed on this. It hasn't necessarily changed some of the cellular markers, but it has really been able to reduce the perception of soreness. And I tried something new this time with an Epsom salt bath to see if that helped out as well. And I was less sore the next day than I thought I would be compared to how I felt that initial day. And even something like compression boots, this is something we have at our clinic, so I made sure that I hopped in those, and that really made a big difference. If we look at the literature though, and as we start to say, well, that's great for the day of, but what does the next couple days, weeks, months even look like to make sure that we're getting a full recovery and ready to go for our next training cycle? So if we look at the literature, basically just at a high level, we see that there's markers in our bloodstream for quite a while that show that there's a lot of tissue damage. This is showing a lot of muscle damage up to 7 days after we've done a marathon, as well as in triathletes, we're seeing that they even are seeing that the heart tissue, the heart muscles might have some cellular death. That's a longer event, but we have to be careful about that. And the point of showing these articles is to just realize that there's a physiological process going on that you can, if we drew blood before and after the race, it would show that there's been a lot of muscle damage and there's been a lot of high level activity contributing to why you feel so run down and sore. So there's good justification with that. So what we did is kind of took our understanding of the literature, the science of coaching, and put it together with a little bit of art, and said, let's have some solid recommendations. So I'm going to make this bigger so that you're going to be able to see this a little bit better. And we gave some guidelines on the first 3 weeks. Right off the bat, nutrition and sleep are really important, as well as using those recovery tools that make you feel better. Again, conflicting evidence at best, but if somebody swears by something, let's not dissuade them. The placebo effect is real. So if they feel less sore and if it helps them, great. Our whole goal in this first week is let them recover, monitor for signs of overtraining like anxiety, either excessive or minimal appetite, all those things we should watch out for. Then moving on, cross training, I typically tell people to take a full day or two off. At the second or third day, they can start to do some low impact cross training. I rode the bike and just put the resistance way low, got the cadence up and just spun it out a bit, and it did help to flush my legs out. Took the dog for a walk this morning, those kind of things that just help you out. Then easy running could probably return at about the 7-day mark, depending on the length of the race. Obviously, something half marathon, marathon, you're probably going to be closer to this 5 to 7 days. If you're doing a 10K or a 5K, you could probably start a little bit sooner. But start some easy running and work up to about 40 minutes for a long run on the second week, and you can go 60 or a little bit beyond for the third week, just gradually building back into it. Speed work, a general rule of thumb, don't begin more intense workouts for 1 day per mile of the race. So if it's a 26-mile race, you should really wait about 26 days until you start doing more intense speed workout. Now, a couple strides, 15 to 20 seconds long, probably not going to do much damage, and it helps you maybe to stay sharp there. You can start weightlifting. I'd say core and upper body start in the second week, but again, don't do anything intense, plyometric. You can do more strength-based stuff and core, but wait to legs probably until the third week, and again, keep the intensity low. I really don't recommend racing in a short time frame after this. People have different experience levels. They run races at different intensities, so there's always exceptions to this. But this is just a real general chart that you can send to your patients so that if they're thinking about it and they want to have some objectivity to what they should do, we hope this helps. You can download this or use this image and send it to your runners, and we hope this helps. Let us know in the comments about what you do, what your go-tos are for recovery, or when you get started back. And as always, if you want to learn more, check out our courses on rundna.com. And thanks again, and we hope you have happy and healthy running.